truth and light, where the spirits dance all night. The Creator gang shines bright, guiding us with all their might. Trumpets sound across the sky as we raise our voices high, praising the one most high, under the auspice watchful eye. We sing songs of love and grace in this sacred space. For the Creator gang we embrace, their wisdom we chase, with trumpets playing in tune, under the silvery moon. We dance until the morning sun, this connection never undone. Harmony in every beat, our faith is concrete. Through the pages of the OSP, ancient wisdom on display, teaching us the righteous way, leading us to a brighter day. With each trumpet blast, we're reminded of the past and the love that will ever last in this divine contrast. United in spirit, we uplift and hear it. We sing songs of love and grace in this sacred space. For the Creator gang we embrace, their wisdom we chase, with trumpets playing in tune, under the silvery moon. We dance until the morning sun, this connection never undone. We sing songs of love and grace in this sacred space. For the Creator gang we embrace, their wisdom we chase, with trumpets playing in tune, under the silvery moon. We dance until the morning sun, this connection never undone.
Wow. Staying alive. There I is. Come on, man, I forget. Oh, buddy, for them 420 vibes. Run the blood clot rhythm. You see the family at Chalman still, yeah? That's right. You're on the next, okay? We on the next, God. You all up by 420 split still, you know. Come on. And I must have him split, yeah? Peace to the gang. What it do, family? Your boy Silah Shalom chiming in for the 1 and 2s. Salute to the righteous gods and goddesses. Creator gang. Peace to the gods and Naravinian goddesses. You know what I mean? Well, we got some new features on here. Yeah, man. Salute. So I had a brother, you know what I mean? Brother reached out to me about having a discussion with a brother. You know what I mean? And it's going good, you know what I'm saying? Just some brothers don't want to do the conversation thing, you know what I mean? Listen to Yusuf Ben Ephraim. Salute to the God. This brother reached out to me. Let me share my screen, you know what I mean? He wanted me to have an open discussion with one of the brothers about the OWASP, or I'm not sure exactly what it was about, but you know what I mean? We were supposed to have we should have an open discussion before the panel. Let me see, I can see that. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, so right here, salute to the God. So right here on this side, as you can see, right here, the brother reached out. Shalom, I have a brother I told you about you, and that I agree with what you say, and I want him to debate you. His YouTube is ministry pages title is, what's that? Men's Advanced Bible Studies, Prophets of Awakening. How can I set up a time for you guys to have a debate? His name is Leonard Johnson. So I was like, okay, somebody want to have a debate with the God. I'm like, okay, you know me, boy, say the word. I'm ready to, box it in and get it popping. So I responded back by saying most definitely. He responded back, how was the arrangement, my brother? And I asked, is there a particular topic? Then he said, I just spoke with Ak, and he informed me that he agrees with most of what you say, but has a problem with you discrediting the so-called Old Testament. He has asked me to tell you if it were possible to have a phone conversation first to see if it is even necessary to have a debate. I have seen several of your videos and you are articulate and methodical in your approach. If anybody can convince him that he may be misguided, it would be you. Please let me know how you want to approach this, and thanks for your expedient response. Shalom. All right, so I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? The brother don't like the fact that I'm discrediting the Old Testament. And I understand why people may feel that way, you know what I mean? Because they don't know what I know as far as having insight about the Old Testament and the OWASP, because, the OWASP is our standard as of today. You know what I mean? So me discrediting the Bible, I have my reasons for it. You may not be able to see it at the moment until we may have a discussion and I explain my reason why, or our reason, because we all Creator Gang is all on the same page. So I responded back and said, that's fine. We can have a discussion. We can do a live. Just let him know what day we can arrange it. So I'm like, all right, let's do a live on it, So he called me back and said, Shalom, the brother informed me that he He is only interested in having a phone conversation with you out of the spotlight through the phone. I have my suspicions as why, and I'm sure you do too. If you do not want to dialogue with him over the phone, I understand, and as there should be no reason to conceal truth, if it is in fact truth. Please let me know how you want to proceed. And that was the last message that God sent. So that's where we at with it. We had a brother that's he want to have a first it seemed like it appeared to me as a debate. Then it came as a discussion. And he want to have a discussion, and I'm willing to have discussions, but we can have discussions openly. We ain't got to hide nothing. You know what I mean? It's not like if we having a discussion, it's not a debate. So I'm not going to approach it like a debate. I'm going to approach it exactly for what it is, a discussion. You know what I mean? And like for us, we the underdogs. Creative Gang is the underdogs. We the new kids on the block. So if anything, we should be the ones scurrying and hiding from the public eye. You know what I mean? But we on the front line. We on the rooftop screaming the Most High's name. We on a battlefield. We outside. So it's like we could have this same discussion you want to have in private, in public. You know what I mean? There's no ego and pride here. You may feel that if you do it in public, you may get, you know what I mean? You know how social media is, nigga. You make one wrong move nowadays, your ass going viral. You know what I'm saying? So some people be afraid to go and do these discussions public so they won't feel like they being played or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? It's not that serious. It's like, nigga, let's have a discussion and let's keep it moving. You know what I mean? If you disagree, you just disagree. That's it. If you can prove it, you can prove it. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the righteous God. Yeah, I see the gods chiming in. Yeah, so, the discrepancy the brother has with the Old Testament. Now, we could have had a discussion on the Old Testament if that's what you want to do. Because, see, the Old Testament, first off, y'all got to remember the Bible, whether it be the Old Testament or the New Testament, is a collection of books. So the idea of the Old Testament is a collection of scrolls. You see what I'm saying? So we got to dig through the Old Testament and be specific where or what you feel that, you know what I mean, I'm discrediting the Old Testament. The reason why I discredit the Old Testament is because, being well-rounded and studied, we see the gaps. We see that the God of the Bible is not the Most High creator. The 7-day creation story is not the way creation is manifested. The 7-day creation story comes from the Babylonians. And that's how the Old Testament starts off, with the 7-day creation story. So right off the bat, nigga, we got an issue with the 7-day creation story because God is saying that he created the heavens and the earth in 7 literal days. I'm going to say literal days because God did not say he created the heavens and the earth in 1,000 years. Why would I run to Peter and Paul and Solomon and David, whoever said that a day is likened to 1,000 years and 1,000 years is likened to a day? That's what man said. If that was true, when God was speaking for himself without having to speak through man, God would have said, my nigga, when I created day one, the first day, that was 1,000 years. I done been through this numerous times. If you look up the word for yom is the word for day. You know what I mean? And there's a word for 1,000. So if God would have used the word 1,000 in reference to his creation, he would have referenced it. The Hebrew word for 1,000 would have been referenced, but it's not. Yom is referenced, 24-hour period. So it's like right off the bat, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, Barashit bara Elohim waha'aretz, the term Elohim, we got a discrepancy. Because this is supposed to be the one creating the universe, creating heaven and earth. But God is a deity, not the creator. And these are the things that we talk about when we expose the Bible. We starting right off from page 1, chapter 1. The whole story is off. The Owaspi states that for each and every corporeal world, celestial body, I created a vortex first. The Bible in the New Testament don't even reference the vortex. So right off the back, you got a false sense of creation dealing with the Bible. Now, the brother just need to come on and have a discussion, and we can clear the waves, clear the airwaves. Because this is 2025, man. A lot of people are hip. You know what I mean? It's a new wave of consciousness floating around. It's a new level of information out here that is challenging what you know as the norm. It comes a time when the norm, the established foundation, get challenged by something new that's up and coming, that's fresh. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where to say, Bub? I see we got the Mischief Maker in the building. What up, Mischief Maker? Tikva, I see you. Yes, sir. Exposed from Genesis first page, right off the bat. Right off the bat, nigga. So when we talk about the Old Testaments, and see now, and that's me talking about the stories within the literature. Now we talk about the historicity coming to Moses now the census is that Moses wrote the 5 books. That's what they say. So now, if Moses wrote the 5 books, right, that means Moses would have wrote about Genesis. That means Moses would have wrote the 7-day creation story. He would have wrote about Adam and Eve. He would have wrote about Cain and Abel. He would have wrote about the lineage of Cain and the lineage of Adam, coming on down to Noah, the flood, to Abraham, and then coming on down to the 12, to Jacob and all that. Moses would have wrote that. There is no historicity of that prior to Moses. If Moses wrote the book of Genesis, that means Moses downloaded from God the story of Abraham, the story of the flood. Moses didn't get those stories from previous texts. Moses didn't get the story of Abraham from a previous script, a scroll that existed prior to him. You see that? Moses wasn't around the time of Adam and Eve, but Moses is speaking of Adam and Eve. So even with Moses is backdating history while he's in Egypt. Keep in mind, Moses is in Egypt during the Egyptian dynasty, during the Middle Kingdom, 12th dynasty. Moses is in Egypt writing about something that took place before the world was created. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Moses wrote that. Moses wrote that while niggas was in captivity in Egypt. That's like a slave in American slavery writing about the beginning. And you niggas is thinking that story about the beginning is right and exact. Right? So now, you got to realize that the historicity of the Old Testament is backdated with Moses. Moses is backdated in history. Who wrote about Abraham prior to Moses? Who wrote about the flood prior to Moses? So the discrepancy in the Old Testament, the reason why we discredit it, first off, is the God is false. That's right off the bat. And the OWASP exposed that God that's supposed to be claiming to create the heavens and the earth. The false God, Anu Hasaj, gave you that 7-day creation story. OWASP exposes that. We off the top of the dome, sis. We just going off the top of the dome right now. I'm just speaking on behalf of a brother who wanted to have a discussion about the Old Testament, about me discrediting the Old Testament. You know what I mean? So right off the back, the 7-day creation story, which is how the Bible starts off, is discredited because it's false. First of all, the creation story doesn't coincide with nature. And what really kills the creation story is the 3rd day creation and the 4th day creation. Those 2 creations actually annihilates and destroy the whole narrative. Why? Because on the 4th day, first off, on the 3rd day, God creates herbs, fruit-bearing seeds. But then on the 4th day, God creates the sun, moon, and stars. Now, the sun, moon, and stars is what light up the heavens. If you take away the sun, moon, and stars, nigga, it's going to be freezing cold out here. Because the absence of light produces cold. When heat is when light is present, light produces heat and warmth. The absence of light produces cold. So if you don't have no sun, moon, and stars, nigga, we're gonna be freezing out here, right? So if that's the case, how can fruit trees and herbs be growing on the third day when there is no celestial lights? And this is where they try to make up excuses for the creation narrative. Like, you can't make up an excuse for something that is erroneously spoken. See, the Owaspy lets us know that the vortex produces the light, and that light is a globe of fire, basically a sun, right? So now, if the 7-day creation story is a literal story, a physical story, an objective story, if that's the case, then we should be able to see that light that God said, let there be light in the beginning. Because keep in mind, in the beginning, he said, let there be light. And then on the fourth day, he said he created 2 great lights. So if that light in the beginning is an objective physical light, we should be able to observe it the same way we observe the sun, moon, and stars. And these are the discrepancies within the Bible that you can't fix. You could try to add your private interpretation, lean on your own understanding, but a nigga like me gonna check that right out the gate. As soon as you say something that's not a scripture, I'm gonna say, where's that in scripture? You know, you said the first light was the sun. It don't say that. It said the sun was created on the 4th day. It was specific. It said I created 2 great lights, one to rule the day and one to rule the night. We know that's the sun and the moon. He didn't say that for the first day. So your creation narrative is off. It's erroneous. It's completely false. And then not only that, you got it from the Babylonians. So you're following a false Babylonian narrative about how the heavens and the earth were created. And not only that, you have people who believe that God is sitting on a throne creating. I don't know if the brother believes that, but you have brothers and, who believe that God is sitting on a throne, floating through space, creating. And for those who believe that, where did God get the throne from? It's a lot of questions that need to be answered about that. You know what I mean? All tight. And then we got some other brother, DMG from Sonetta page, raising some questions, using AI to raise some questions about the Owaspy. See, a lot of these black power niggas, these black power cats, they always use the racial card. What is this gonna do for the black community? What is that gonna do for the black community? Let me let y'all niggas know something. Y'all niggas need to quit that black community shit. That shit is dead, my nigga. Look at the black race in America and look at the black on black crime in America. Look at the drill culture in America. Look how Chicago alone is catching anywhere from 20 bodies, 20 killings a month, young black males. 20 and 30 bodies every month. Look at Chicago. It's a dude on I forget his YouTube channel, but he goes over the deaths of Chicago every month. And it'd be like 18 to 20, even sometimes 25, 30 bodies in a month. Young black men are killing each other, right? So niggas will say, oh, well, that's because of the conditions we've been through, the transatlantic slave trade, the white man had us oppressed and all this. Okay, nigga, let's go before that. Matter of fact, I'm doing even better. That's why I said these blackity black niggas could never get the ups on me with it. Because y'all being disingenuous. Let me go to the first nigga in history. Right? Let me go to the first nigga in history. Where is that at? I know where I'm going with that. You know what I mean? What round was that? That was in the debate round, I think. One second. All right, here we go. So now, see if I can find it real quick. It may not be on this one. Let me see. I think I trimmed this one down. There we go. All right, so let's be realistic here. Anytime these black niggas, now don't get me wrong, I'm all for the black community, nigga. I'm fucking black. Of course, I'm all for my people, nigga. But we passed that, nigga. You know what I mean? It's more to it than that. You already fucking know Mally going in that goddamn normal palette. What you mean? These niggas over here running about a nigga burning a spliff, nigga. You need to be worried about your God. Your God got you niggas out here wilding. The gods done gone crazy. The gods must be crazy. Now look at that. Now you niggas want to talk this blackity black. That's what I'm saying, my nigga. Every time we gonna come here with it. How can the OWASP be good for the black community? Well, nigga, how can Narmer be good for the black community? When you got the first nigga in history slaying his brother. Niggas, let's talk about that. Huh? Let's get to that. Huh? Let's talk about this. Let's spend some time on this. This is black on black crime. Where the white man at? This is why you can't use colonization. Every time we bring up the OWASP over there or something or one of them, they always want to bring up the white man, the colonization. Is this better for our people? Is this good for our people? We have a lineage. We are chosen people. All that is irrelevant when your goddamn King Narmer is slaying his brother. Huh? What we really talk about here? That goes for you Kemet niggas, and that goes for you Hebrew niggas. Y'all so much on this blackity black, but then you have Narmer slaying his brother. And then, don't forget, we got the brothers. We got Joseph brothers. Where that goddamn debate doc at? I can bring this up. See? Now look at that. So when we go to Genesis, whatever chapter, but look what, and Judah said unto his brothers, what profit if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites. So how y'all niggas gonna be talking this blackity black crime, you Kemetic niggas and you Hebrew niggas, when you have motherfucking blood on your hands? You got Judah talking about selling his brother to the Ishmaelites like some goddamn slave master. And then you got Narmer over here slaying his brother. So when did niggas have peace? Where is the ma'at in this, Jabari? Where is ma'at expressed in this picture that we're looking at right here? This is the first king of Egypt, and he is not expressing ma'at. Shouldn't it be peace when you start a kingdom before the warfare kick in? This nigga Narmer come off the back with the club, beating niggas upside the head. Straight warfare. This is the real God of war. The God of war is Narmer. Huh? I am a man of war and the Lord is my name. That's Narmer. He beating niggas upside the head. And then you got Judah, who's supposed to be coming from the lineage of Jesus Christ. This the lineage Jesus Christ come down. He the head nigga. Judah is the head honcho of the lineage. You got the head honcho of the lineage playing slave master, telling his other brothers, let's sell Joseph to the Ishmaelites. That's why I got the picture right here. That's Joseph. I mean, that's Judah, Katazak, selling Joseph, the brother, to the Ishmaelites. Now, come on, let's sell this nigga. So what we talking about here? Where's the brotherhood in that? See that? Where's the brotherhood in you selling your brother to the enemies? See that? And then this is when Then there passed Midianite merchants. They drew and lifted Joseph out the pit, sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. So the Midianites ended up selling him. But it was on Judah's mind to sell his brother. Threw the niggas in a pit. Look at this. Look what John said. Look what Abraham said concerning servitude. Look. Abraham inquired of the Lord concerning servitude. And God answered him, saying, there is only one master, even Jehovah. Your people shall be his servants only. But all people have loves. A damsel says to her lover, I will be a servant, and he marries her. A man may say to another, your judgment is greater than mine, I will be your servant. And the man takes him in love to work for him. Therefore, for convenience sake, you may say master and servant. Nevertheless, my chosen shall not, in fact, have either masters or servants, for the one shall not have authority over the other except by love and free consent. See that? You niggas ain't moving with love and free consent. You're commanded to be a slave to your God. Look at this, Book of Osiris 2:17, touching the matter of slaves. There is only one master, and he rules over all. But it lies in the power of each and every soul to attune himself with the all person, which is freedom. My hosts, who are of this kind, in contrast, your slaves attune themselves to you. They cannot rise higher than you. But my hosts have the universe for their model. Nigga, that's why we can't get trapped up. That's why we have endless streams of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to spew. Because our creator didn't limit us to a goddamn nigga sitting on the throne. Book of Su, son of Jehovah, chapter 2, verse 30. Su said, how then did you make slaves of them in the first place? To which they answered, the day their mortal bodies died, we took them in, and they never saw or knew any other place in heaven. So we appropriated them to our service, and they dutifully obeyed. That's what's going to happen to you niggas. All you niggas following this biblical God, thinking you following the Most High. What did they say right here? Look how they're going to play you, my nigga. The day their mortal bodies died, we took them. The day you die, you got ancestors waiting to snatch your ass up in the name of Jesus Christ, in the name of Muhammad, in the name of any God you follow that is not of the Creator, and they're going to make you a subservient slave. And you're not going to know that you've been duped. You're going to go right along with it thinking you're in the right path. But here the Owaspi is exposing these false gods, these emissaries, these angels. It stated that the day their mortal bodies died, we took them in. See that? And they never saw or knew any other place. Just imagine that. Nigga, you kidnapped. That's kidnapped. That's like me kidnapping somebody, put them in the basement. That's like you taking the baby straight when the baby born. You take the baby, you kidnap the baby, and you put the baby in the basement and raise the baby in the basement for 21 years. The baby ain't never seen outside. Huh? You know you ain't going for that. So why would you go for this? This is what your God is doing to you. Your false God is going to kidnap you. When you die, there's going to be some guardian angel standing there ready to collect your ass, your soul. And he's going to take you to a heavenly kingdom that's in a corner somewhere. And he's going to bound you. And you're going to know no other kingdom. Just like you're going to be bound in that basement. You're going to know no other place. All you know is that basement. So you have false gods and they're deceiving angels that's waiting for you to die so they can capture you and imprison you as slaves in their heavenly kingdom. But keep in mind, you're not going to know that. Because the nigga, when you cross over, the nigga may come looking like Jesus Christ. Oh, there go my Lord and Savior. Now you run off with this nigga, tiptoeing through the tulips, tiptoeing through the tulips. Y'all cross over, you see the kingdom, you see God on the kingdom from the distance. And now you fully convinced, not knowing you being deceived. See that? This is why the Owaspi is dangerous. This is why the Owaspi is deadly to you false ones, because it exposed the agenda of the false gods. The same way how everybody's getting exposed right now, P. Diddy's getting exposed, and Jay-Z getting exposed, Busta Rhymes getting exposed, being zesty. All these niggas being exposed, it's just like these false gods. They get exposed, and now the tricks that they once played can't be played no more because everybody on game. Everybody up on game. It's just like with Theo Osby. All right, nigga, we found out that, you know, the nigga you thought was God is not the Most High. The nigga sitting on the throne is not the creator. So we up on game now. So any nigga coming to me talking about some he the Most High looking like me, I know he a liar. If a nigga talking about the Most High sits on the throne, I know he a liar right off the back. I don't care what he talking about. I don't care about his law, statutes, and commandments. If you telling me that this man is the Most High sitting on the throne, nigga, I disregard him. You can disregard them law, statutes, and commandments. I'm not following that God. But that same God who is sitting on the throne may find the people that'll be willing to believe his lies. And then that God will make those people his chosen people. And that's what you have in Bible. You have a false God who chose a people, and the people are ignorant to the fact that this God is false. They're offering up bullocks. They're offering up lambs. They're slaughtering animals for atonement of sin, not knowing that they're under a curse of a false God whole time. Creed don't require blood from you niggas. Creed don't require blood. Creed are free from that. Yeah. So how we gonna follow this Lord? Now keep in mind, you know, they say they don't like the fact that we discredit the Old Testament, but we're not discrediting the Old Testament. We're calling it for what it is. So Judges chapter 20, look at this. This is Judges chapter 20, verse 35. And the Lord smote Benjamin before Israel. Now look, this is the Lord smoting Benjamin before Israel. This is God smoting, killing his chosen people before his chosen people. The Lord smote Benjamin. And then not only that, 25,100 men. So the Lord here, you thinking is the Most High, is not the Most High. The Most High don't need to smoke nothing. The Most High gave you life. Why he got to come in and act like a human being and kill you that way when he created you? The Lord's supposed to be the one who created the sun, moon, and stars before man was even created. So why do the Lord got to take to the battlefield, or why do the Lord got to throw some lightning bolts out the sky and smoke that which he created? So again, y'all can't be on this blackity black shit when you got blood on your hands. Israel, y'all got blood on your hands from right off the back, from the patriots. The 12 brothers, y'all ain't like Joseph. Y'all wanted to sell Joseph. Y'all treated Joseph like crap. You know, that's your story. It ain't like the patriot story is starting off glorious. These niggas is living in glorious mansions, getting the word of the angels, being ministered by angels, the word, and they out here doing good and righteousness before the people. The patriot story ain't start off like that. The patriot story started off as the 11 brothers is mad at Joseph because Jacob loved Joseph, and the brothers was jealous. Jealous to the point they want to kill him. How many of you niggas want to kill your blood brother just because your father may have a likeness to your brother over you? Does that make you want to go to the extreme? You want to kill your brother? You want to create a story of how he died and lie to your father? You doing all that because of jealousy. Jealousy got so deep rooted in you that jealousy led to conspiring to lie, conspiracy, to murder. This is the story of the brothers who's supposed to be the chosen people. Chosen to what? With that type of behavior in the early days of the patriots. And then we come back to Egypt, to the early days of Egypt, we see the same thing. We see black on black crime. We see the god of war, Nama, slaying shit. So anytime For my Creator Gang family, for anybody who rock with Silah Shalom in the Creator Gang and rock with the knowledge we bring out. Anytime somebody try to be defensive or be slick, deceptive with the OSP, and try to use the race card, if anybody try to use the race card, the colonization card, you always bring up the Norma Stella and say the reason we got the race card, the reason we got the colonization card is because your brother Narmer set the tone for it. When the white man came into Egypt and seen Narmer, the god of war, they like, oh, okay, I guess that's how they war. Let's go to war. They went to war. Why we won't go to war? If we are the first race to influence the nations, and if the nations visited us and seen this image, and if the nations wasn't warring prior to this, if they see this image of war and destruction, now they're inspired to war and destruction. Then they come back and visit war and destruction on the very same people who educated them, who educated the goddamn Greeks, niggas, right? Don't they say that the Greeks learned from the Egyptians? Well, who came back and destroyed Egypt in the 3rd century BC? Goddamn them Macedonians. Alexander the Macedonian came through and destroyed and toppled over shit. They came through and the Ptolemies started running Egypt. They came with destruction and death. The same thing Narmer came with. The same thing you taught him, Israel. Egypt, I should say. Kemet. You taught the Europeans warfare, and then the Europeans turned around and used it on your head, Kemet, based off this image of Narmer. Why ain't Narmer giving these niggas some fruits and apples and showing some peaceful shit? Why Narmer ain't doing that? Why he got to be showing destruction and death? Why this got to be the first image? Now you wonder why black on black crime is so rampant in the black community. Because it's been going on since day one. You niggas been sinning since day one. This is sin we looking at. This is not ma'at we looking at. This is sin. According to the Bible, this is sin. You killing. Thou shalt not murder and kill. You killing. You spilling blood. Not only is you spilling blood, you got niggas' heads chopped off over here. See that? Right here, niggas' heads is chopped off. You got 10 niggas with their heads chopped off. Is that ma'at, Jabari? Sanetta? Ain't nobody bringing this out? What about this? Where is ma'at in this demonstration? Y'all niggas want to go fancy yourselves reading the hieroglyphics and the metal net thing. Y'all ain't learning shit. Y'all regurgitating what the white man taught you. The white man gave you the hieroglyphics. And those words that you putting together, he gave you that. Huh? And Athanasius gave you that. Y'all niggas thinking y'all speaking the middle netter? And Athanasius gave you that. Where that? Yeah, where that Kemet presentation at? European authorships of Kemet. That shit at. See that? This the dude right here who gave you that. Kircher. He gave you the understanding of how to read anything on this glyph right here. Kircher. The same white man who you hate gave you your understanding of Egypt. He was a Jesuit scholar. He did, however, correctly establish the link between the ancient Egyptian and the Coptic language. And some commentators regard him as the founder of Egyptology. So what are you talking about? You got a saw over here. Kepi, my aunt, nigga. Sit your ass down somewhere. You got that from this white boy right here. He gave you that. These were the first ones to speak about Kefre, Ma'at. They gave you that. Look what it say right here. Kircher helped pioneer Egyptology as a field of serious study. He learned Coptic in 1633 and published its first grammar. Grammar. He gave you niggas who? Where the black man? Breaking down and deciphering Medunetta, so we can say, all right, we getting this from a black man. We getting this published book of grammar about Medunetta from a black man. Where he at? What's grammar? In linguistics, grammar is the set of rules for how a natural language is structured, as demonstrated by its speaker or writers. So Ketcher, the white boy, is structuring how you would be able to speak Medunetta. You wouldn't be saying Ma'at. You wouldn't be saying Sa-netta. You wouldn't be saying Imhotep if it wasn't for Ketcher. Because he what? Structured the language for you niggas. He did this. Y'all niggas need to be wearing t-shirts of this white boy. Y'all want to give credit to John Henry Clark and what's the other one? The one Ben, Dr. Ben. No, you niggas need to be wearing t-shirts of these white boy right here. Because if it wasn't for him, you niggas wouldn't be saying no Ma'at. You wouldn't be saying Hathor, Ma'at. You wouldn't be saying none of that if it wasn't for this white boy first, who redefined what it means. So yeah, man, I need to go ahead with that. Look at them. This is a cartouche, right? You niggas wouldn't know nothing about this if it wasn't for this dude, Joseph. He gave you the cartouche. He is recognized for proving that cartouche rings in Egypt texts contain royal names. You wouldn't even be reading the royal names if it wasn't for him. You wouldn't even be aware that this name inside of here is referencing somebody. See that? You niggas owe the Catholic Church for the revising of Kemet. This nigga look like a Jesuit priest too. Look what he got on. He got a priestly garment. He got a priestly garment on. You Egyptology niggas owe Catholic. You niggas owe the Catholics. They revise your Kemet language. Samuel Birch, first extensive English translation of the Papyrus of Nebseni. He gave you that. This is where you find Ma'at. The principles of Ma'at and all that is found on this papyrus. The Papyrus of Eni. You wouldn't know nothing about it if it wasn't him. This white boy who translated into English. See that? You wouldn't even have this right now if it wasn't for him. So what kills me is that you niggas want to act blackety black when your complete understanding of Egypt today stands on the shoulders of these white boys. You wouldn't know nothing about this if it wasn't for the white boy who discovered this. A white boy discovered the Narmer palette for you to even recognize that the first king of Egypt going back 3100 BC is Narmer. You couldn't even say that if it wasn't for this white boy here. Where he at? Look at all this is white people shit. Look at this. This nigga, James Edward. You wouldn't be talking nothing about the Narmer palette if it wasn't for James Edward. The Narmer palette was discovered in 1898 by James Edward and Frederick Green. So what we talk about here? Why ain't the black man discovering this stuff? Blackety black Kemet? Why is the colonizer and the white man giving you the building blocks of your Egyptology today? Don't none of these niggas got their own Kemetic system and structure of Kemet based off the pedigree of black men going back to the 1900s, the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s. You ain't got no black man of a pedigree showing the lineage of upholding Kemetic tradition and grammar throughout those years, throughout those centuries. And it's the same thing with the Bible. And it's the same thing with the Tanakh. You got these white boys who's been upholding what you consider is your tradition, revising it, and you niggas is you are adapting to the revised version of your ancient literature. You don't know what the ancients did. You don't have a clue what's going on with these hieroglyphs. The white boy retranslated it for you, and now you took it hook, line, and sinker. Now you acting like it's yours. This the white guy who discovered Narmer's name. And look at the year. It was Professor Wiener Kaiser of a German archaeological institution in Cairo who in 1964 identified the name Narmer. Look at that. You niggas wasn't saying Narmer prior to 1964. Prior to 1964, if you seen this image right here, you ain't know what was going on. You just seen this picture of a king slaughtering a man. But he discovered the name Narmer, not the Bantu Negro. And how do we even know that's a Narmer? How he know that? This is 1964. How he gonna identify something in 1964 that is supposedly recorded in 3100 BC? How he get that understanding? How he know that say Narmer? The only nigga that know that say what that say is the person who put that there. You don't have nothing to go off of to say that says what it says. Niggas is making this shit up. So at the end of the day, my nigga, don't let these niggas get you trapped in with that old blackity black, my nigga. Good is good, wrong is wrong, regardless of skin complexion. It's either you following the laws or you not, regardless of skin complexion. But if you want to play the skin complexion game, we're going to always revert back to the earliest monument we have of a black king, and it's a nigga committing warfare. And if you want to go back to the oldest patriarchs of the Bible, the chosen people, we see Joseph hating his brother. So don't talk to me about like the black community got this clean slate, like we just nah, nigga. From day one we was fucked up, nigga. We a dysfunctional family. The black community is a dysfunctional family. I just showed you Narmer, 3100 BC. The nigga's dysfunctional. He got a nigga by the head about to strike him. He got 10 niggas with their heads chopped off. Nigga, you dysfunctional. Something wrong with you. And then something got to be wrong with you to display it for the world to see. You talking 6,000 years later, and we looking at what this nigga was doing back then to his own people. So what are we talking about here? What colonizer? Narmer is the first colonizer. Narmer is the first racist or the first prejudice. Narmer shows that he is prejudiced against his own people. So what are we talking about? Blackity black Kemet? Blackity black Israel? Come on, man. Cain killed Abel. What are we talking about? Cain got jealous because the Lord liked Abel's offering better than Cain. And Cain got upset and killed his brother. Now, these supposed to be two black people, right? Cain's supposed to be black, Abel's supposed to be black, and Adam and Eve's supposed to be black. So it's the black family. Like I said, nigga, we dysfunctional. So in this dysfunctional family of Adam and Eve, the Lord says, all right, I want you niggas to give me an offering. Cain go gets fruit, which is right and exact. Nigga, the fruits. The sweet smelling aroma of fruits. Abel go kills an animal. Now you got death, spilling of blood. So God now is before the two offerings, the offering of fruit and the offering of blood of animal. And God choose the offering of animal, nigga. That should raise a red flag right there, nigga. You supposed to choose the fruit, and you supposed to tell Abel, nigga, I ain't tell you to kill, thou shalt not murder and kill my living creatures, nigga. You know what I mean? Abel's supposed to get checked for killing that goddamn goat. Because the creator ain't create you to eat no goddamn goat. He created you to eat the fruits and vegetables. That's what they there for. And this is the first brother on the earth. These the first brothers on the earth. And these niggas is beefing over an offering offered to God. Cain got upset because God favored the blood over the fruit. So Cain is fucked up. He's dysfunctional now. He's like, damn, I thought we wasn't supposed to murder and kill. And I thought the fruits offer up a sweet-smelling savior, a nice aroma. You ever smelled the mango? That shit smell good. Pineapples and them shit smell real good. But the smell of, you ever smelled the dead animal or carcass? That shit stink. God is going with the stink over the sweet aroma of fruits. So Cain is fucked up in the head right now. He's dysfunctional. He's like, damn. God said, the Father said, don't kill and don't murder. But here it is, my brother spilled blood off an animal. We ain't supposed to be eating the fruit. The herb-bearing fruit's supposed to be our food. So Cain fucked up now. He vexed. He's like, all right, that's how we moving. God, you lied to me. So now for that, since you ain't keeping your word, I ain't gonna keep my word. He kills his brother. He kills his brother out of jealousy. This is the first dysfunctional family on the planet. Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. See that? God going with the stink. That's right, Bizzle. You know what it is. So it's like, y'all really can't say nothing about colonization. Y'all can't say nothing about the other nations. Y'all can't say nothing about the white man when you niggas did it to yourself first. First and foremost. Stop pointing the finger. Stop casting stones when you niggas are the ones motherfucking committing sin. Right off the bat. You know what I mean? Right off the bat. Right off the bat. Hell no. Yo, wow, hold on. Hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight. Easy work, family. Yeah, so it's like, the Owaspy is an advanced book. You have niggas struggling with the Bible, so not everybody gonna really catch on to this shit. This is really for a chosen few. You know what I mean? We see everybody is having a hard time trying to understand the Bible. They think they know who God is, then they don't. They don't even know that there's a difference between a creator and a God. We just vibing out. You know how we do. life. Just a day in the life. Just another day in the life. Now, this is the book of the Ark of Bond 423 in the middle of the verse. It states that the Creator is not in the image of a man. Behold, I am the ever-present and not in the figure or image of a man. But I am the all space and place, doing my will through my angels and through the souls of men. Now keep in mind, majority of Bible believers believe that God sits on a throne. I think Melly posted that shit the other day where Captain was talking about God sits on a throne. They can't fathom the ever-present. They need something to see. Most people have been programmed to believe that God is a man. Christians believe that Jesus is God, so that means he's a man. If Jesus is God, Jesus is a man. So in the beginning was a man floating through space, creating. And then you have some Hebrews who believe that Yahuwah, well, most Hebrews believe that Yahuwah is a man too, because they got to go with the Bible say. So the Bible say that man, the Lord is a man of war. The Bible says that God sit on the throne. God sit on the throne. Let's get it. Let's see what we can come up with. Here we have it, Isaiah 6, 1 through 5. In the year that King Uzziah died, what does it say? I saw the Lord sitting on the throne. I saw the Lord sitting on the throne. What did the Owaspi say? Behold, I am the ever-present, and not in the figure or image of a man. So if the Creator is not in the figure or image of a man, he damn sure ain't going to be sitting on the throne. So who is this Lord sitting on the throne? This is your Creator, your Most High. This is the one who you going to see after you die. This is your deceitful God sitting on the throne. Your God is a man. Ezekiel 126, and above the firmament, and over their heads was the likeness of a throne. The likeness of a throne in appearance like a sapphire stone. On the likeness of the throne was a likeness with the appearance of what? A man. A man. Your God is a man. Right here, man. A man. With the appearance of a man high above it. So you have the throne again. You have a man on the throne. Revelations 22:1, and he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding from what? The throne of God. So again, we got God associated with being seated on the throne. But in the Owaspi, behold, I am the ever-present, and not in the figure or image of a man. So who is this in the Bible? Who is this God that we can visibly see in the invisible world? He's the invisible God. Yeah, so when you die, you're going to see that invisible God because you're going to be in that realm, right? But look at that. What did Jaja say again over here? Precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. Owaspi Bible, God's Book of Esther, chapter 40, verse 15. What does this say? I will make it plain to them that to worship a spirit, though he be a God, though he be a God. What do we have right here? The throne of God. What did the Owaspi say? I will make it plain to them that to worship a spirit, though he be a God. is but the giving of their own souls into what? Bondage. Like I said earlier, with the using the example of kidnapping the kid and imprisoning him in a basement, and he never sees nothing outside that basement for 20 years. This is where you niggas is headed. Pine oil heaven is where you niggas is headed. I will make it plain to them that to worship a spirit, though he be a god, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, right? Is but the giving of their own souls into bondage. For they shall in that day understand that the great spirit, the ever-present creator, is what? Not an idol in the figure of a man sitting on a throne. Bag drop, nigga. Game goddamn over. I could use just one verse and annihilate anything coming out of the Bible. Because this verse is letting us know that don't be deceived by God's claiming to be the creator, because that's going to lead your soul into bondage. That's what this verse is saying. Alongside, so you could be watchful, that is also saying that the creator is the ever-present, not in the image of a man sitting on a throne. So if somebody comes to you saying that God is the creator sitting on the throne, you know that person has been deceived and they're trying to pass their deception on you. Ain't nobody bringing this out. Because according to the Bible, God sits on a throne, and Hegel, the goddamn verses, we proved it. Revelations 22:1, it says the throne of God. Ezekiel 1:26, it says the likeness of a throne. And it says the likeness appearance of a man high above it. And then right up here, Isaiah 6, chapter 6, verse 1, in the year King Ezekiel died, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne. So all throughout the Bible, who you claim is the Most High is sitting on a throne, who Owaspi says, be mindful of those claiming to be the creator sitting on thrones. These are false gods. And the gods of the Bible are not even making you aware of a creator. They're telling you to bow down to them. So you're sitting on the throne. I saw the Lord sitting on the throne, high and lifted up. That coincided with Ezekiel 1:26, the likeness of a throne, a likeness with the appearance of a man high above. See that? So now you're going to be bowing down, face down on the ground, screaming, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. Holy, 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 holy is the Lord of hosts. That's all you're going to be saying all day. Holy, 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 holy is the Lord of hosts. Holy, 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 holy is the Lord of hosts. You niggas going to be sounding crazy. The Lord going to look towards you and you're going to be like, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. Yo, this shit is crazy. Now look, see, I'm just saying, your Lord sits on the throne. You know, this is another. I watched till thrones were put in place and the Ancient of Days was seated. The Ancient of Days was seated. Now, some niggas will say that the Ancient of Days is Yeshua. You got Christians believe that Yeshua is Jesus. God. Some believe that this is God right here, the Ancient of Days, but he's seated. His garment was white as snow, and their hair on their head was like pure wool. So this is like Revelations. This is like the description of Revelations of, they say, Jesus. His throne was fiery. Look, his throne was fiery flame. Its wheels were a burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. 1,000 and thousands ministered to him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The court was seated and the books were open. Judgment, nigga. Basically, this is describing basically a heavenly kingdom. That's it. Some read this and get so fascinated and overwhelmed. For us, they're just vaguely describing a heavenly kingdom, vaguely. But you thinking this is the council of the Most High and all that. This is one council out of numerous councils. You know how many heavenly kingdoms there are? For each god is a heavenly kingdom. How many gods they got out here? How many gods is in your Bible? You got the god Shemesh, you got the god Dagon, you got the god Asherah, you got the god Baal. All those are different gods that has kingdoms and thrones situated with them. And followers. The Lord is his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. The Lord's throne is in heaven. So we showing you from the Bible that this God sitting on his throne, who is not proclaiming the creator, but proclaiming himself as the creator, is false before the creator. That's what we saying. Shit. Look what it states again. I will make it. This is God's book of Esdras, chapter 40. If you got your OWASP, you may want to jot this verse down. So if you come across a Bible thumper, you can just pull out this one verse and end it every time. This is the dojo. We in the martial arts. I'm showing you a technique that can end the fight every time. If you take this verse, this will end the biblical fight about a God every time. I will make it plain. OWASP Bible, God's book of Esdras, chapter 40, verse 15. Verse 15. I will make it plain to them that worship a spirit, though he be a God, is but the giving of their own souls in the bondage. For they shall know in that day, understand that the great spirit, the ever-present, is not an idol in the image of a man sitting on a throne. Easy work. Book of Divinity, chapter 1, verse 5. Whosoever is worshipped having comprehensible form or figure is an idol. Your God is an idol. He has comprehensible form or figure. He sits on a throne. That's an idol. He that worships an idol, whether of stone or wood, whether it be man or angel, sinneth against the Creator. So the whole house of Israel is sinning against the Creator because you worship an idol. You worship a man sitting on the throne. You got Captain Tazariak claiming that God sits on the throne, sinning against your Creator. And how many more people follow that narrative? How many Christians say that Jesus is God, sinning against your Creator? What did the verse say? He that worships an idol, whether of stone or wood, whether it be man or an angel, sinneth against the Creator. This was given unto all of God's lords. So why we haven't heard this? If this commandment was given to all the gods and the lords, why are we not aware of this concept and differentiation of a creator from a god? This was given unto all the gods and lords by them to the guardian angels and commanded to be taught to mortals by inspiration or otherwise. So now we're being correctly brought back to the Creator, being aware of these gods claiming to be the Creator, so we can be mindful. Now look what it states next. Book of Ben, chapter 4, verse 3. It has been said, Jehovah is a person. No one can know this, for his magnitude is incomprehensible. See that? You can't comprehend Creator. It's incomprehensible, beyond your understanding. So now again, your God sits on the throne. Your God is floating through space. So all we doing is making you aware that you following a false God. I know you don't like it either. I know a lot of the niggas don't like it when we bring this out. But all we doing is helping you out, bro. We saving your soul whether you like it or not. There's going to come to a conclusion when you're going to come to this understanding, whether it's from the OWASP or not. There's going to come a point where that shit going to start ringing home. It's going to start touching home. You're going to start thinking about what we're saying. Because Christians follow Jesus as their Lord and Savior, as God. Those who don't believe in Jesus believe in the Father. He's a man sitting on the throne. So you still hoodwink, hook, line, and sinker. And we trying to save you from that. You know what I mean? Trying to get you out the hell knot before you turn into a hell knot, before it be a hell knot, before you end up in pond oil heaven. You know what I mean? Y'all don't want to end up in pond oil heaven. It don't look good in pond oil heaven, my nigga. Trust me when I tell you that. Y'all know what pond oil heaven like. Pond oil heaven. What does it say right here? Remember, your God is a God of war. War! In my Xerxes 300 voice. Book of Jehovah, chapter 8, verse 5. Look what it states. Let me go to verse 6 first. It says, and mortals slain in war shall be born in spirit into chaos on the battlefield. And entering the spirit world in chaos, they shall not know that they are dead as to earth life, but shall still keep fighting right and left. You niggas following the God of war, and once your ass go to war and get slain, like when the Lord slain them Benjamites before Israel, and when Benjamin was slaying them Israelites left and right, your spirit is going to be born in chaos on the battlefield. Did your God inform you of that? Did your God let you know that if you are slain during warfare, that your spirit is born into chaos on the battlefield? Did your Lord and Savior tell you this? Because I'm sure if your Lord and Savior told you this, you will refrain from going to war. Why? Because you don't want to be a chaotic spirit on the other side. And then not only that, look at this. With foul gases of atmosphere, they shall make weapons of war in places of torment. So not only your ass get slain in the battlefield, you're born in the spirit and chaos, you got angels already to place you in places of suffocating hells, places of foul gases, just like human warfare. It's the same thing going on earth. It's the same thing going on in heaven with the ancestors. Warfare. You know what I mean? This is where you headed if you're following the false God. If you're following that God of war, this is where you headed. And this is how it comes about. The angels under you shall become at times rebellious and defiant, disregarding your laws and decrees. And they shall desert your heavenly places and go down to the earth in millions and hundreds of millions. And they shall drive away the guardian angels, which are the Ashars, and then assume guardianship over mortals. Assume guardianship over mortals, but they shall develop no righteousness under the sun. Look what they say. They shall inspire mortals to war and destruction. See that? What do you see going on now? War and destruction. Wherever you see war and destruction, understand that inspiration is coming from an unseen entity. They shall inspire mortals to war and destruction, and these angels will themselves take to war and evil throughout the place of your heaven. So Owaspi is making you aware that you have angels that can inspire warfare and destruction among mortals, along with their own personal warfare going on. And then it's letting you know of the spiritual conditions of when you die, you'll be born in a chaotic state. So why would you want to follow a God of war that'll lead you into those spiritual conditions? While the Owaspi is saying, nah, fall back from that. I deal with no destruction in war. But for those who deal with destruction in war, nigga, this is where you headed right here.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven.
And that's exactly where you niggas is heading if you don't get your shit together. Keep following these false gods. Owaspi is the higher light on the block. It's going to draw you, bring you back to the creator. And that's what it is. And with that, your boy Salah Shalom is out of here. Till next time, salute, Creator Gang Gang. Got the Owaspi shirt, drop that mic. Salute to Shan. Got another hot one. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? You know how we do. Peace to the righteous gods and goddesses. And we out of here, family. Let's ride.
Chestnuts roasting.
truth and light, where the spirits dance all night. The Creator gang shines bright, guiding us with all their might. Trumpets sound across the sky as we raise our voices high, praising the one most high, under the auspice watchful eye. We sing songs of love and grace in this sacred space. For the Creator gang we embrace, their wisdom we chase, with trumpets playing in tune, under the silvery moon. We dance until the morning sun, this connection never undone. Harmony in every beat, our faith is concrete. Through the pages of the OSP, ancient wisdom on display, teaching us the righteous way, leading us to a brighter day. With each trumpet blast, we're reminded of the past and the love that will ever last in this divine contrast. United in spirit, we uplift and hear it. We sing songs of love and grace in this sacred space. For the Creator gang we embrace, their wisdom we chase, with trumpets playing in tune, under the silvery moon. We dance until the morning sun, this connection never undone. We sing songs of love and grace in this sacred space. For the Creator gang we embrace, their wisdom we chase, with trumpets playing in tune, under the silvery moon. We dance until the morning sun, this connection never